Hello, everybody. It's Jose Rodriguez with the REJ Team eRealty Advisors Inc. I just wanted to go ahead and create another video about a market update. The last one that I did had a positive response from a wide range of people in my audience. So I'm going to go ahead and create another one to keep you guys updated and posted as to what's going on with interest rates, what's going on with the real estate market. Are things slowing down? Are they speeding up? Is it still a better market than it was last year? All of these questions are going to get answered. And if you have any other specific questions, feel free to email them to the rejteam@gmail.com. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to go and start with is the interest rates, right? So what's going on with interest rates? So I'm quickly taking a look at this historical data directly from Freddie Mac, okay? And it has the whole year of 2024. So we can see that in January 2024, we started at 6.62% of annual interest rate. And this is for a 30-year long-term mortgage. All right. And now we're down to 6.2. So it's been an increase, right? And also, like, during the middle of the year, we could see here in April, it went all the way up to even 7%, right? We have 7%, 7.22 in May. And then as it gets closer to the end of the year, we're seeing that rates started to drop. So hopefully this pattern continues, that rates continue to drop. This is a good thing because obviously if you are in the market for buying purposes and you get a better rate, that's obviously going to save you some money, right? But the interesting thing, right, because everybody likes to complain about the rates, especially these days. If I scroll all the way up, just for some laughs here, right? I scrolled all the way up just to take a look at what the interest rates used to be like. And over here, you can see back in 88, we see interest rates at 10%. We see interest rates at 11%, right? Like, it's crazy how high interest rates once were. And we see that we still haven't even passed, not even close to that benchmark. Let's take a look at some of the market data, right? So I'm going to go on the MLS right now. This is the multiple listing services. This is where all the agents go to put up listings on the market, and it also has a database of stats as to how these listings are performing, what's being sold, what's not being sold. And it has the most accurate data out of everything because literally it's the database where every agent puts their listings that go on the market for sale, the ones that actually do sell, the ones that expire, how long they've been on the market, and things like that. So let's go ahead and take a look at all MLS first, right? Just to see overall how the market is doing, and we'll take a look at August because that's the most recent report that we have here, right? So as I'm taking a look at this data here, we could see that last year, right? So last August, new listings, there were 4,381 new listings, whereas in this month, August this year, it was 431 active listings, right? New listings. Closed sales, last year was 4,160. So last year, 2023, August, 4,160 closed sales, as opposed to this year, August, 3,889, right? So last year, more houses did close, more houses did sell. But here's the interesting part, right? When we look at the metrics as to, yeah, because it's one thing saying like, oh, more houses were selling last year, and if more houses were selling last year, then that means the market's better. No, not necessarily. Why? Because we can see here that days on market on average was higher last year by 4 days, whereas this year it was lower than by 4 days, right? So we had days on market, average days on market last year 48, this year 44. Median sales price, right, 669, whereas this year was 725, right? So even though last year there was more closed sales, we're still seeing that on average we're still getting more money for our properties, right? So when we do sell, the market is a little bit better than in regards to sales price than it was last year, even though more houses were going on the market last year, even though more houses did sell last year, right? We're still seeing that the median sales price is higher this year, which means it's still a great time to sell your house. It's a better time to sell your property this year than it was last year. That's the conclusion, right? And then in regards to the percentage of original list price received, we have 100.4% last year and 100.7% this year, right? So it's a little bit better. We could just call it even and say that, hey, it's practically the same. But the point is, guys, is people are still getting asking price, right? And this year, the good thing is getting asking price is more than getting asking price last year. So houses are selling for more. Interest rates are lower than they've ever been this year. So what does this conclude? This concludes that it would obviously be a good idea to consider getting your property on the market if you are looking to sell, because again, interest rates are lower. So even if you're looking to buy something on the other end, you'll be able to get into another property. As you see, prices are still rising. I mean, just for curiosity, we could even take a look at what July was like, right? Because I know I did one for June, but let me go ahead and just share with you guys what July was looking like, right? So now we have August and we have July, right? So similar metrics, but we had more listings in July this year than last year. We have more closed sales in July this year than last year. Days on market were lower this year than last year. And then also median sales price, 718, right? 718 in July, while in August it was 725, right? So the market is still relatively the same as July as to how it performed in August, which is, not predictable, but it usually is that way because of the summertime, right? The summer market's usually like that. But again, the point is look at this. I mean, median sales price last July, again, 660, very similar to last month, 669 of last year. Guys, it's a great time to sell your property if you're looking to sell property. And it's also a great time to buy. Why? Because I still see the market climbing up. We can see it, right? Even as to how it compares from July to August. July's median sales price was what, 719? In August, it was 725. So houses are still selling. They're selling fast and they're selling high. Interest rates are climbing down, which means that there's going to be more buyers that are going to be entering the market. More buyers are going to be entering the market and it's going to be cheaper for them to buy, then that means that they're going to have more money that they can utilize to play with, which then ends up resulting in the market continuing to increase. So is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time to sell? It's a good time to transact in real estate. That's what we're seeing here now, right? And I always tell people, buy real estate and wait. Don't wait to buy real estate, right? Because it's always going to appreciate. It's just like the stock market, right? If you buy it at a good price and it goes down and you sell it, yeah, you lose money. But if you hold on to it, it's likely to go up again. The real estate market is very, very similar. You hold on to it for long enough and you're going to make money. So whether it's a good investment or a bad investment, it's always a good investment, right? As long as you can afford the ride. And then also it's about how you buy, right? One of the main difficulties that I've seen certain buyers face today is that they've bought a property, let's say a few years ago, where the interest rates were, 2%, and they had an ARM, right? Which means that in 5 years, that rate is not necessarily fixed for the duration of the 30 years of the loan. It's going to change in 5 years. It's going to adapt to the current mortgage interest rate, right? So they would have a 2% lock-in, and then, in 2019, fast forward 2024, 5 years later, now that interest rate changes to 7% or 6%, and then they can't afford the mortgage, and then they end up losing the house to foreclosure. We've seen that, right? So obviously, be sure that you can afford a home. However, over time, if we're talking about, and this is the crazy thing, right? Because some people will get stuck on that and say, oh my God, like that's terrible. Some people are losing their house because of that. Well, here's the benefit. If you bought in 2019, right, the market has appreciated tremendously. What you bought in 2019 for $200,000 is most likely worth $400,000 in 2024. So either way, if you can't afford it, you can just sell it, cash out, buy another property, rent, hold on. There's so many opportunities available to you, right? And even if you purchase at this price, let's say with the interest rates at 6%, 6.2, because a lot of people are scared of that too. Listen, if the market continues to appreciate, which based on the trends we are seeing that it's going to continue to appreciate, you can always refinance once the rates get better, right? Because now that the rates get better and even more people are buying, there's even more demand and people are able to afford more because their pre-approval is going to be higher based on their current monthly payment as the rates decrease. What that means is the property values are going to go up. And if property values goes up, if you buy something for $600,000, let's say, and now it's worth $700,000, $800,000, you could refinance, even pull some money out tax-free, because they can't tax you on the money that you refinance because it's considered a loan. And if you're able to pull some money out of the equity, great. But again, you're locked into a better rate. You'll probably end up paying a little bit less. You're holding on to a great investment. Or if you want, sell, retire, go to a beach, go to Vegas, whatever it is, right? but put your money to work for you. Invest in real estate. I think that real estate is one of the best assets that you can buy. And I hope that you found this video informational, okay? If you have any questions, feel free to send them to the rejteam@gmail.com. And if you'd like to have a specific copy of the data numbers that I shared with you guys from last July and last August and how it compares to last year, also send me an email to the rejteam@gmail.com, and I'll make sure to get that over to you, all right? Have a great day, guys. Take care.